Hello, folks. Welcome to the Relationship Builders Customize Your Love Life series. You are chilling here today with Joy and Bobby. So, we're going to talk about fatherless children. We're going to talk about how society is more accepting of women having children on their own. Many of them don't feel that they can find someone, that they can meet someone to have a child with. And so, we want to go into the idea of kids who are going to be without fathers. They may never know who their dads are. A lot of women are choosing to go to sperm banks and get impregnated and have a child. Why? They can't wait for the man. That is like a crazy thought to me personally, but what's your view on it, Bobby, from the male perspective?
I think number one, the feminist movement has grown stronger over the last few years. And I think another thing is, we just grew into a society that just can't wait for nothing.
Oh, yes.
We're not trusting anymore. People don't believe. People don't trust. People don't even believe in themselves, right? So when you have this dynamic of people who can't wait and people are not trusting, and this is a situation where, women feel like she's good, she's not good enough, or she will never find the right guy. And then this is where the dildos come into effect. And then when all that gets played out, they have to have a kid, and, as a last resort, oh, I'm getting older, so they go to a sperm bank and decide to say, you know what, I'm going to have my kid, by having a sperm bank. And the thing is, like I said, it sucks for the child now because the child will never ever know what the father looks like.
Sad.
And they wouldn't even know if the father even still exists, right? And to them, they're going to ask because you're going to see other kids with their fathers and child and whatnot, family together. They're going to become curious. And what kind of answer you're going to give to your child?
Mm-hmm.
And that's even the most important thing is what kind of answer you're going to give to your child. You're going to look your child in the face and say, I went to a sperm bank and that's how I end up having you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how would that even, as a child, like how could you even deal with that? You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
to me, it just, it's just sad that we come into a era now where, I guess feminism has taken on a new movement right now, and there's so many ignorance getting played into this fact that and a lot of women think that if I can do what the man was supposed to do, is that make money, then why do we need a man?
But you brought up a very good point, and I really, really want to go into this. For that woman who chooses to say, I'm going to go have a child alone because, I guess they're not having any luck having the relationship they want, you hit the nail on the head. Belief in themselves. If you know that eventually you're going to find someone, why would you choose to have a child on your own? What you're saying is that I don't know if this is going to come. It's not coming now, and I don't know if it's ever going to come. So because I'm getting older or whatever, I want to have my baby now, and I don't care how I have to do it by any means necessary. Whatever, I just need to have my child. And I think that's so unfortunate, the lack of belief in yourself to not find someone. I mean, if you think that you're powerful, you're grounded, you're strong, you can make your own money, you can do anything, why don't you believe that you can have that relationship that you want? Some women are saying, I'm not going to settle for less than what I deserve. I mean, I believe that it's a bag of crap. I think that when you're going to a sperm bank to have a child, you're already settling for less than what you deserve. You're letting your child settle for less than what they deserve. They deserve to have a mother and a father, someone to look up to say, go to, for days where it's Father's Day or whatever, that they have a dad to take with them somewhere to do something. And because you didn't have faith in you, that child now has to live without that aspect of themselves. I think that's horribly sad, the lack of faith and belief.
There's ignorance to that play a part in that, And what we'll find out now is ignorance is playing a more of a role right now where, a lot of people are making decisions, based in ignorance. Right? Mm-hmm. And when you make decision based in ignorance, it's just a flawed decision right off the bat, right? And yeah, we've seen a lot of, and you have seen it because you're watching those shows. A lot of women are attractive,
Yeah,
good looking,
they look great.
Good looking, attractive, on the surface, have it all.
Yeah, for sure.
Making a lot of money, looks good, the body,
Together,
the whole,
yeah.
everything,
Mm-hmm.
And then personally, they have nobody and no chance of having a husband or even somebody that can come close to that because, there's ignorance that goes in there.
Well, you see, that's your point of view from your
Always.
perspective, but I find that what I'm noticing a lot of the times in those instances, a lot of them have been married and are now divorced. So maybe they were married once, it didn't work out, they have no belief in marriage now, or they still want to be married, but they've been around the track one time, can't wait to get into all that again, I need to do what I need to do. I'm in a hurry to have a baby, and who suffers? That child suffers. I had a friend years ago who was going to have a baby with a guy or wanted a child. I told her I didn't think it was a good idea. She decided to do it anyway. Then, she had to try to push that child on that child's father. I understand a woman going to a sperm bank means that, you're not going to expect anything of the father and all that. But like Bobby said, they're going to ask about their dad at some point. And how unfair is that they never have a father? A father figure, no, is not good enough as far as I'm concerned. The child has a right to know his or her father.
Yeah, that's the thing. Remember, people do things for their own purpose and their own gain.
To me, that's selfish,
It's not for the kids.
Nope.
Obviously not.
Nope.
It's just, sometimes to say that I have it and I want it and I'm going to have it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
By any means necessary.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It's like I said a while back, it's about a guy who has a car, that brand new car comes out and can't wait to get that car. Even though the car that he has right now is running well, everything is okay with the car, he just wants a newer car. So you just trade that one in for something newer and then start having a whole lot of problems as you go along because people cannot wait. And the truth of the matter is, when you can't wait, this is when you make decisions that are not sound decisions. Your decision based on impulse or where you at, right? And I said it before, and I say it again, to bring a kid in the world, we have deadbeat dads that's run off and leave the kids. We have those that we obviously do. But, what about the fathers who want to be around? Want to say, what, I want to be with this kid. I want to, show them what it's like to have a father around. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people out there, a lot of guys out there who would love for that opportunity. It's just a matter of, where is society leading all this now, where people are becoming more, used to the idea of going to a sperm bank and having kids on their own. And, before any serious kind of thought go into that, you have to think about the kids too, because what are you going to tell them when the kid want a father? Want to know where the father is?
They're going to find a father figure.
He didn't up and run away. He didn't have a choice. So what are you going to say to that child? You know what I mean? Or does it even matter? They just have to accept the fact that you're born without a father, and that's it, right? So.
And you know what that does to a person's self-esteem. Look at the kids who know that they have their fathers around and the fathers are not there. What it does to them. And, if you're a person who doesn't believe that you can have that, and let's say you give birth to, whether it be a boy or a girl, but what do you think you're doing? You're starting a trend now. Now your daughter is going to say, well, my mom did it on her own, so I can do it on my own. If she, doesn't have, as much luck, or she doesn't find someone as quickly as she wants, then it starts to believe now that, well, my mom did it, I can do it. And I hear women say that all the time. Well, I was raised in a household where A, B, and C, and then now they're doing it by themselves. But why would you encourage that? Isn't the objective of family mother, father, and child? And I'm hearing so many women saying family is having a child.
But you have to remember too, right? The dynamics has changed over the last few years. Now, no, listen. Honestly,
you don't have to buy everything that's selling. So
listen, it's not about. Remember, people out there are taking their information for whatever sources, right? And part of that is influencing them.
Of course.
Say, for instance, a guy who wants to be a terrorist. What he's going to do is he's going to go to every channel and find every avenue where he can get.
Because that's what they want.
Information.
Yeah,
exactly.
they're looking for what they want.
So when you talk about, we're talking about the same situation here. If that's what remember, I hear this from you a lot, that whatever a person wants, they're going to get it. You know what I mean? Whatever they're going to get it, they're going to get it. So to me, I just see it as, what? When you look at how society is going right now, a lot of people are getting fed into what society is feeding them. People sit and watch cable TV. They get fed consistently.
Yep.
People listen to radio. They get fed consistently.
Social media.
Everything, right?
Every
so this is why I'm telling you the dynamic now has changed now, where it's becoming a factor. And once it becomes a trend, then it's a done deal, right? But it can come where it's okay to raise a kid on your own. And I remember in the 90s, it was a big thing where people used to talk about a lot of single, pregnant teenage girls, and a lot of teenage girls are getting pregnant before they're even 20 and all that. And that was a huge thing.
Okay.
And then the deadbeat dad thing came around, and fathers not sticking around. And now, we're in an era now where it's becoming almost okay now for a woman to have kids without a father, because now we're seeing it, and you're seeing in shows where you watch it, where like we talk about women that on the surface is appealing to most men, and they themselves can, and because of behaviors that they're not identifying is leading them not to find any man.
Yeah.
And then they blame the man. Then they become out-directed.
Yes.
And when you come out-directed, you're expecting the rest of the outside world to change towards you.
Yes.
And you don't feel like you have to change to nobody. And with this is why I go right back to my point about ignorance. You know what I mean? The ignorance of believing that you don't have to change towards nobody. Everybody should change towards you. Accept me as I am. And that's the kind of crap that goes around. Where people buy into the fact that why should I have to do anything? And we hear the woman say it every time. Why should I have to have kids? Why should I cook his dinner? Why should I take care of the kids? Why should I society? Yeah. Why should I?
Why should I society?
I mean? Why should I?
Right.
And because of that, people are not staying in a relationship too long because we carry our ignorance around like a badge of honor, right? And we don't want to let go of anything. We don't want to change anything. And it goes right back to my point again. People expect you to accept them who they have.
Right,
and then they themselves don't want to accept certain things about you. So this is why a lot of people don't stay together.
Yeah, but back to our main point, about fathers less kids. People, you got to make it bigger than yourself. That is now your child, your responsibility. That means physically, emotionally, mentally. That child now not having a father doesn't know where to turn. That 50% of them is now missing. They don't understand that aspect. You can say, well, your father is blonde hair, blue eyed, or he's tall, dark, and handsome. But what does that tell the child when they can never connect with their father? They never know them. That aspect of them is missing. You hear a lot of kids who are adoptive. They want to go searching for their parents because they want to know, where did I come from? Who am I?
Yeah,
right?
And if you have a kid that's, really curious and really want to know, then you're going to have a really, really serious problem on your hand because, like I said, when you because we have to understand, too, that decision is never ever made with a kid in mind.
Yeah.
Never, ever. The kid wasn't even an afterthought.
Yeah.
The only decision was, I want exactly.
I want what I want.
Right?
Yeah.
I want to have a kid right now. So later on, when that kid's his teenage years now, and start to asking questions,
way before
they're caught with the pants down now because it's like, oh shit, how do I answer this now? How do I tell them? You know what I mean? And they find themselves they get hit with a situation they weren't prepared for. Right. And this is where I'm saying that you really have to consider that because, you don't want that kid to be resentment towards you because you didn't, because you can't even tell them who their father is.
But you know what? The other day when I was at the gym, I was watching the news and this doctor had been inseminating women with his own sperm. So now not only do you have kids who are fatherless, but now you don't know who's brother and sister. Because while they may say, that's bad, that doctor shouldn't do that. But when you go out and get yourself inseminated, you have no idea what's going into your body.
I ain't blaming him, not even 1 second.
Sorry.
Dr. Evil, Dr. Skeevel, whatever you want to call him, man. I don't blame him 1 second.
It's not cool, you're taking a risk when you take someone, you're trusting these people to inseminate you with sperm where you have you're trusting them to do all the screening, do everything to know that honestly, kids could be brothers and sisters and they don't know. They have no idea because you wanted what you wanted and so you trust in the doctors. No, this is what you do, right? Is you take the chance in just saying, I want something and I'll take whatever I can get. So that's better than waiting to find someone, at least a real person. Okay, let's say the relationship ain't going to be great, but at least a real person then, so that child can say, oh, you're my dad. Nice to know you. I look like you.
Listen, what we're coming to realize now in today's day and age, okay? Take, for instance, the very traffic. You ever notice sometimes when there's a traffic at the intersection, and even though this person has a green light, they can see ahead that traffic is not moving.
Right.
And they will wait till the very last minute, like the hands start to count down to 5, 4, 3, and before it hits 1, they dash out the intersection and then get stuck in the middle of the intersection. And now, then when the other traffic's ready to go, they can't go because this person can't wait. And sometimes those very same people who can't even wait for the light to change will drive in a drive-through where there's 20 cars before them and sit and wait. So you can't wait for the few seconds at the intersection where you can go drive in a drive-through and sit and wait. So this is to tell you that people just can't wait. There's always this rush, and they do it to their whole lives. And they rush through their whole life from one thing to the next. So when you have people that are just always in a rush where society is telling you got to get up and go, then people are not making the decision, like I said, a sound decision because it's all on go. Let's get her done so we can move on to the next thing. And sometimes that plays a role in what people do. They try to move on to that next thing without even taking care of the thing that they're taking care of right now.
Yeah.
So the rush is where a lot of people are running into trouble because they're meeting, like I said, bad relationship and making bad decisions that end up being costing them more, down the road.
Yeah, that those previous relationships that weren't good shouldn't dictate the rest of your life and the life of a child who had nothing to do with it. Now they're going to suffer because I want what I want. I don't trust what's coming up in life, but I want this child to raise, and so therefore I'm going to just do it. I think I think it's ludicrous. I hear, ladies, your reasoning, but it still doesn't justify that child now not having a father or not knowing that other aspect of themselves. So, folks, I want to thank you so much for tuning in and listening to us on this topic. I really think it's a big deal, and I really think that we need to really tune in and pay attention because you're going to affect not only your life, but the lives of others. All right, folks? Right. So thank you so much for tuning into the Relationship Builders Customize Your Love Life series. Please feel free to visit relationshipbuilderexclusive.com, see what we have going on, self-study courses, events, and so much more. So tune in, and we'll talk to you again soon, folks.
Yep. See you then.
Okay, bye for now.
Bye.